Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Friday morning. Hope you all are having a great start to your day. I'm sure most are happy that it is Friday, the end of the week. So I got you an update on what potentially could happen today for your Friday, May the 20th. So we're going to talk about that. If you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. I want to apologize for the just kind of the low end content this week. I've missed a couple evenings. It's been a trying week. It really has. I mentioned in the community post last night that, I was getting some home repairs fixed, the garbage disposal, sump pump, all, not really a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. It could be worse. You could have a roof leak, your AC could go out, something much worse could be happening. But, sitting there, got it done last night, me and a buddy of mine. And then I wake up this morning and then my dishwasher isn't draining. The bottom of it has not drained right, and it's just only because good old rookie mistake did not knock out the drain plug out the garbage disposal, the new one, before installing it. So obviously that drain hose was kicking that water all the way back to the dishwasher. So we're gonna have to disassemble it or try to get some leverage on it to knock that plug out. And it's just been a trying morning already. So prayers are appreciated. Just like anybody, we all go through little stretches where it just seems like it's one thing after the other, whether it's big, small, or a mixture between both. And sometimes it can add up and just nag at you. And I'm kind of one of them people that when something happens, if there's a way that I can fix it right then, and I have the skills to do it and I have the resources to do it, I like to knock it out right then. And of course, it's hard to just cancel work because you're trying to get a plug out of a garbage disposal. So asking for prayers for patience today. It's Friday. I'm trying to remain in a good mood, but we're all humans. We all fight it. So appreciate the prayers. People are going through much worse things, but as always, we all got things going on. So appreciate you guys. If you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. So let's talk a little weather. I'm going to try to keep the energy high for you guys this morning, but fighting it a little bit this morning for sure, fighting the oomph, if you will. But today we have a couple areas to talk about as far as severe weather. One up there in Michigan, where you probably have the highest tornado threat, and that highest tornado threat isn't necessarily high; it's just higher than these other regions. And then you have that leftover piece of energy that just rampaged through St. Louis last night. It was almost like not a mini tornado, but just a large area of strong winds that, Reed Timmer was on that last night. Got some pretty incredible footage of just very, very strong winds that whipped through the area and then getting into areas of southern Illinois. That same piece of energy has been moving overnight and moving through areas of the Ohio Valley this morning. Will eventually refire up and get into areas of PA a little bit later this afternoon and maybe even New York City. It'll probably start to deteriorate by the time it gets to the big cities of the I-95 corridor, but that will be a little bit of severe weather today. And then you got this really small area down here on the Oklahoma-Texas border. Tornado threat, like I said, highest up here in Michigan. Small tornado threat also in PA. Wind threat, 15% risk in 3 different areas and 25 miles in any given location in those yellow areas. And you got the hail threat, which isn't necessarily huge either, but just a few areas that you could definitely see some severe weather today. Let's talk about what's going on as a whole for the eastern and central U.S. We'll keep this rolling. There's that little leftover piece of energy I'm talking about. This thing has been moving. It's called an MCV. So it is moving through the Ohio Valley. Will continue to move into PA a little bit later, re-intensify. This is around 1 to 2 p.m. this afternoon. And then I think Pennsylvania and areas of central and eastern areas of the states could see some nasty weather a little bit later. This continues to move through areas of New Jersey. Watch out, maybe Philadelphia, maybe New York City, Long Island a little bit later this evening. But I really think it'll lose some intensity. For you folks down in Florida, I really think you guys are going to see a lot of tropical moisture moving in from the south. In response to that system we were kind of talking about a few days ago, it's kind of churned moisture a little bit northward, and you're indirectly getting affected by it, and you're definitely going to get a moist flow today. Almost every area of the peninsula of Florida could see heavy rain today at some point. So definitely a tropical air mass down there with a lot of rain for sure. So you back it up, and then you're going to have these storms in Michigan that could produce a tornado or two. And then you're going to have some storms fire up down here later this evening. Let's take a look at Michigan first and what could potentially happen as we're getting through the morning hours or getting through the afternoon hours. These are the storms you watch right here in northern sections of Michigan, just south of the Great Lakes right here. These could produce, okay, especially on the southern end where these storms could, the tail-off areas of these storms where they could take full advantage of their environment at bay right here. Please be careful if you're in this area of Michigan. A little bit later this afternoon into the late afternoon hours could produce a quick tornado, some damaging winds, and some hail for sure with these storms. Now, I really think this will only be a window of a few hours, and then by the time the sun's going down, you'll just have some lingering showers and storms. But there's going to be an opportunity in this area of Michigan for a tornado or two a little bit later this afternoon, so please be weather aware. And then for my folks in the Northeast, this leftover energy will move into PA, Pennsylvania. It'll start to re-intensify probably around lunchtime as you have intense humidity and heating at the surface that builds. And I really think it'll be probably its most intense right around 3-4 p.m. as it's starting to knock on the door of the New Jersey-Pennsylvania state line. See this bowing look to the storm right here? This could be rather intense, so we're watching out for that. We'll try to get a little bit closer look at Pennsylvania here. And here it is. You see this little bowing segment on this line right here. This could be nasty. Could produce some damaging winds, maybe a quick spin up embedded in this. And then I think it kind of weakens and kind of loses some steam as it gets to New York City into the evening hours. But it's a very small segment of showers and storms. But it continues to move across the U.S. and eventually it's going to make it all the way into the Atlantic Ocean. And this is going to produce severe storms today, sometime this afternoon, central to eastern PA. And even areas of like Pittsburgh, for example, in western PA, and northern sections of West Virginia, eastern sections of Ohio. Here in the next few hours, you guys are going to see some nasty weather from this too, but likely won't be as intense and severe as it will be a little bit later this afternoon for areas of eastern PA for sure. As far as temperatures, hottest day of the year, it's going to be comparable to yesterday for areas of the Carolinas, maybe a degree or two hotter. It was very hot yesterday. It really hit me like a ton of bricks when I walked outside. I work a job where I don't have to be outside anymore. Throughout my 20s, I worked outside a whole lot, but I have pretty much a desk job now, and I walked outside and I was like, holy cow, it is hot, even for my standards here in South Carolina, as we hit 96 degrees yesterday with a little bit of humidity. It's not a dry heat. It was a humid heat. But it's going to be nasty today. There's going to be a little bit of a boundary right here. You got rain-cooled air that's going to be making its way through PA, but there's going to be a boundary set up. Maine will be a little bit cooler today, but areas of the Northeast outside of Maine that aren't experiencing clouds and rain will warm into the 60s and 70s, even some of the higher elevations. But you get in the Washington, D.C. point south to the Virginia and the Carolinas, the deep south, the mid-south, the Ohio Valley, 80s and 90s for highs. Some areas in the southeast might hit 100. And then Texas, you remain pretty hot for the entire state, except the areas that are getting influenced by this cold front that's moving through, that's likely going to bring Denver a snowstorm tonight. I don't think the immediate metro Denver area will see a foot of snow, but I think several inches is possible. And here we go. I know this is not a zoomed in look at this, but the HRRR model continues to move through. And as we're getting to the afternoon hours, the evening hours, the overnight hours, any rain will switch to snow very quickly. A heavy, wet snow. It's not going to be a long duration event. By the time you're getting into about tomorrow afternoon, it'll start to taper off, but not before dropping a good bit of snow. National Weather Service, look at this little small area. You got snow in southern areas and southeast areas of Wyoming too. Watch out, Cheyenne, places like that. But the Front Range, the foothills, and just south of Denver, 1 to 2 foot of snow is possible. Heavy, wet snow. This could potentially be historic. It will be historic if Denver gets over 6 inches of snow, or gets 6 inches or higher of snow. I think it'll be the latest date in history that you guys have seen 6 inches of snow this late in the year. So Very, very impressive. A late season storm. We're not talking about March, which is historically Denver's snowiest month. We're not talking about April, which starts to become a little bit more uncommon. We're talking about mid to late May. So this is very impressive for this time of the year. It's almost comparable to the Labor Day snow that Denver got, where they got a few inches of snow Labor Day of 2020 or somewhere along, where it was 100 degrees one day and the next day it was snowing. So, you know, I try to tell my people here in the Carolinas all the time who just think if you don't like the weather, wait a couple hours. It's nothing compared to what y'all see out here out west. It really isn't. This is incredible. You know, Denver's probably going to see 4 to 6 inches of snow. I really think they will. Heavy, wet snow for sure is going to fall, and temperatures will drop all day in Denver. Not necessarily quickly, but steadily all day. High temperatures today. I think, you know, you guys in Denver, I don't know what your temperature is right now, but it's probably in the 40s, maybe 50s, maybe 60s. Heck, I don't know. I didn't even look before this video, but y'all will drop all day as this cold front continues to seek southward. And you can tell what the cold front is and where it's influencing the weather in the Dakotas, areas of Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana. Cooler than average temperatures where the cold front has moved through, around average where it hasn't. So temperature will be dropping all day. But that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully I'll be a little bit more upbeat tonight. I'm just kind of one of them people that I like to get what I need to get done immediately. And that's just my flaw as a human being, is having a lack of patience. I have a big lack of patience. But we all got flaws and we all got things we need to work on. And I'm certainly not perfect. So asking for prayers for that. Like I said in the beginning of the video, praying for you guys. And I'll talk to you guys this evening. Have an awesome Friday.